Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host. Let's get into this. So, guys, hi. No periodic table, no alien talk right now. Alright, but I do have a message. But first and foremost, the creator did want me to not really discuss it and go over it, but just kind of give you guys some insight. We're about to have an eclipse, April 8th, exactly, to be a little more precise. It is exactly 1 week after Mercury goes into retrograde. The course that this eclipse is said to take in the galaxy and the towns that it will be observable from on this earthly plane, I believe are worth looking into. You don't have to take my word for it, but just look it up. Try to get yourself some daily basic things, right, that you might need from the store, like your water, whatever it is that you consider to be valuable, that you probably spend more money on than other things. I would say get that in advance, along with some batteries, some flashlights, some candles, maybe some canned goods, things like that. All right. It's being compared to a solar flare right now. Like I said, this is not what the topic is, but go and do your own little investigation and look into that and see what drops in your spirit when you do your own research. Okay, I'm not dedicating a segment to that, only because it's one of those astrological events that is going to be unpredictable, and we don't really know the full logistics. And I'm not even trying to ask the creator what's up with that, because I already had some visions and some dreams of my own that I'm not really trying to give no energy to. Alright, but moving forward, there was a topic that I did a few weeks ago, and I believe that it was entitled, "If it can be grown with dirt, it can be used to transmute energy." I am going to go back over that with a little bit more detail, because anything is literally anything, okay? I believe I only mentioned like vegetables and fruits and different herbs. Yes, marijuana and tea also. But I'm going to get back into that. That's going to be a second, or a part 2 rather. But the creator wanted me to do a little research on some things before we went back into that topic, okay? Now, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, I'm not sure. We had a discussion about us having these different entitlement issues, whether it's from other people, whether we feel entitled from the creator. Sometimes these entitlements go on in the spirit, and it increases a lot of different odd behavior. Now, over the course of the past few weeks, I've been getting crazy downloads to the point to where I'm not even sure like which one the creator wants me to divulge first. What do I need to dedicate more research time to? What may be worthy of sitting on? How do I separate these messages in terms of priority, right? Like, which is more important? And then it dawned on me that we're being upgraded. We're being upgraded so much so that we are coming into alignment with different versions of ourselves as we speak. Now, if you know anything about chemistry or physics, then you know that energetic charges are important. And the creator kind of wanted me to go into this. We've had a conversation a while back about how we have the option and the ability to choose, right? Between our lower and our higher selves, there are different planes and different dimensions, right? So think of this reality as like a broomstick or like a mop stick, if you will, right? With the bottom or the base being the low vibrational dimensions, right? And then the top being the heavens, all right? So the bottom being hell, the top being heaven, just in layman's terms. With the middle being earth, right? Where we currently and consciously are operating and functioning. And I think it's important to make the distinction between the conscious aspect of it, because we do dwell in different dimensions simultaneously, but we are consciously actively operating in the middle, right? In this 3D conscience. From the end of 19, I would say end of summer coming into the fall, into about the middle of last year, right? Somewhere in the summer, we have been going through these different portals, through these different shifts and adjustments. And we have had about 4 years, almost 4 years, to decide if we were going to take the negative or the positive or the higher or the lower realm. Now, we've talked about these charges, right? We've talked about yin and yang, masculine and femininity, these negative and positive charges. Of course, if we are looking at basic chemistry, then you know that negative and positive charges, they have a space and a place, right? Now, if you were to apply that to your sense of spirituality, or this broomstick or mop stick that I've used as a reference point earlier, then you know that these charges are causing vitality in dimensions, right? And we can go further into this, but the creator wanted to simply just adjust this. What's happening right now? If you did not make a decision, your consciousness will be split amongst these realities. Henceforth, the people who are going to appear to have gone crazy, hence the people that are obviously struggling, right? You're going to see people who are literally straddling the fence between who they are, who they used to be, who they want to be, who they can be, who they don't want to be, who the creator said they are. Like, all of these are different versions of a reality. And all of those different realities are going to be split up. Your consciousness and your spirit and your soul is attached to all of those different timelines. And the more you fraggle and finagle the idea of all of those realities, the more split apart you become. You have to be sure and certain of what it is that you are deciding on before the time comes for you to enact. The creator gives you a really large window of time to adjust to who you have decided to be, right? What's going on is we've stepped into a reality, and we've also had the discussion of these shifts, right? These multiple dimensions sort of being physically adjusted, so much so that we have become physically closer to hell and physically closer to the heavens. This is a physical, right, representation of what's going on in the unseen. Not only are we becoming physically closer to these different dimensions, our spirits are becoming more acquainted. Now, if you decide to take the lower version or the higher version of yourself, that is one thing, right? It is your prerogative to take whichever route you decide. The whole thing is that your energy needs to also be in alignment with that, or you're going to struggle. Your mindset. So if you are in doubt, if you are in regret, if you are in denial, if you are still flirting with other ideas of who you may be in different dimensions, you'll totally miss the point of alignment. And this is where those crazy loops in time happen, where you start feeling like you're stuck in these karmic cycles, and you start feeling like you made a bad choice, and you start feeling like you're confused about who you are, and your sexuality is all over the place. Your ideations are coming from left field. You don't know who God is. You don't know who the devil is. You start to confuse the two. And because we've had these conversations, I think it kind of set us up for this conversation. Just simply knowing that there are higher and lower versions, right? In this dimension, and then in others. When you make a conscious decision to follow one path, your energy, the portals, they all start to align, right? And this is for people who kind of like recant their decisions, who are confused, who, is battling the different versions of themselves. Because what happens is each of those dimensions, each of those timelines, they're reaching for you. They're coming for you. It's not you going for them. Once you are lost and you're confused on which type of decision you need to be making, you are literally exposing yourself to the ethers. And you're telling the ethers, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm not standing on a particular choice or decision. So I am now sticking myself in the middle of the universe, allowing all those portals to pick and pry. People can die from this, literally, not spiritually die. You can physically kill your vessel. It is stress on your vessel. It's stress on your spirit, because your body literally needs to know where to go. I'll give you an example. Let's just say you say, okay, I want to stay midway, right? I don't know if I'm going to take the higher calling or the lower calling, right? We talked about this, having connections to different dimensions, right? So let's just say you haven't really officially made a decision, and you are just stuck earthly bound, right? And you haven't made a decision. But this lack of decision is you making a decision. You're like, okay, the earth is like, okay, I'm going to force you to go into a direction that is unfamiliar, because you haven't made a choice. The Creator has allowed you the option to choose, and you still haven't. You're confused and you're unfamiliar on what you can get as a result of making such a decision. Your body is now physically and unconsciously, by the way, stressed out to the point to where your body starts to take on different frequencies and energies, because you're not choosing the paths that are carved out for you. So you're essentially choosing a path of your own. And this is kind of messing up the vibration, the frequency, that are there in the ethers that are accessible to us already. So now you have to take on energy that was not meant for you to take on, hereby leading you into a sticky situation. All right. So, and I may have not done a really good job of explaining that, but I think for the people that it's for, I think they get it. Okay. You have to choose. You have to figure out which direction you want your spirit to acclimate and gravitate towards. The higher level, and no one is wrong or right. It's all for you. If the Creator created it for you, it's all for you. But you have to decide which frequency and path of your own you want to travel down. All right. But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I hope y'all are going to enjoy y'all weekend. I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it is most definitely free. All right. Love y'all. Peace.